Hey, cows. It's Loop Dark Snout here. Hey, come here. They're not listening. Could be because it's a photograph. You know, there was one time I was driving in the countryside and, a bunch of cows. So I'm like, I stopped the car. I started asking them directions. And they all come to the fence. And they're just looking at me like, we don't know. It was great. It was before, the age of cell phones being able to record everything. But it's in my memory and it's glorious. It made my best friend at the time laugh. She was delighted by it. Yes. So in this episode, I'm still fighting my way through the Most Confounding Thing. And although it's called, what is this episode called? Another Lucky Discovery. Yes, because fate did throw me a bone. Something, happens that's actually positive in this little ordeal, and I take it. It kind of eases a little bit of my burden for the rest of this project, so I guess you'll see. But most of this is just me fighting my way through this bug. I'll figure it out. It just takes time. I am even getting some color glitching with the Super CPU, and I'm surprised a single byte has not derailed it yet. I thought the extra speed, unless it derails it, would stop any color glitching at all. The first little bit with the wolf does not have any green on him, but I have noticed just a few random pieces since. So yeah. And I also tried speeding up the frame rate. I set the frame rate to like a refresh of every one, thinking the Super CPU could handle it. And it crashed almost immediately, so I don't know if that's due to an incorrect read or it just, overflowed itself completely somehow. Whatever. Time for another play. Check out the wolf. There'll be no green. No green. Slow it down. Oops, this switch. Okay. I was looking through the phone lens instead of real life. Now we'll get green on the wolf. See? It's all something to do with the speed. Now I wonder if I switch that switch in between. Let's see what happens as soon as I see the green. No. It's once it's there until something wipes it, I think. Interesting. And for fun, I set the thing to a refresh, frame refresh of 1 again with this guy in play. And as you can tell, this is the goat before and after the close-up. So it crashed somewhere on the color thing. It overflowed itself. It's interesting to know how that happened. But yeah, she's pooched. And once again, I am running it at full speed. I am not getting a single crash due to it reading corrupted data. Now, something occurred to me here. This might be more blessing than curse, because perhaps the reading only occurred when you read it. When you try to read from the BackBit, occasionally something's out of whack and I don't understand it, and you'll get a dud because the Super CPU is getting in the way somehow. That's basically what Evie said. She doesn't understand, or maybe not understand. She never accounted for the timing of this device, just the Commodores and the things that she was able to test. But what this is doing is running rolled out code from the BackBit. So the BackBit is doing its job. It is properly, theoretically, I don't know, but I believe it's bringing in the data that I'm requesting without fail. And here I am, since I'm executing it from the BackBit, I will never have the Super CPU stick its beak in the way and wreck stuff by bringing it in through it, like the middleman. So if that's true, what a bonus. Because I'm going to play this several times until it either chokes or I get bored. Because if this is true, I will be able to run code from the BackBit directly with the assistance of the Super CPU. Not that I want something that requires both, but I won't have to worry about it screwing up. Because if I load my buffers from the BackBit using rolled out code, and I load my audio from the BackBit using rolled out code, I will never have the Super CPU screw it up ever. Oh, you saw that? Except for those times. What is that? I still don't know. Still don't know. But whatever. If that's true, I could make this thing play full-blown bitmaps, full color, like not IFLI or anything weird like that, just regular koalas, but beautiful ones at 30 frames, no problem. And that's the trick. But without it, I'm doing the character set version with limited colors, and it's still pulling it off at 24 frames a second. But I have to do something, fix that timing bug. Whatever it is, that's clashing with the colors. And once that's down, and I can trust my work, I can get the sound in, and away we go. Because, I mean, this isn't going to be super impressive if I have it, doing full-blown bitmaps at 30 frames a second with this thing. Because, I mean, this does not impress. Maybe the BackBit doesn't impress too, but the fact is this is running at 1 megahertz. Well, not right now, but you know what I mean. Oh yeah, I forgot I have the stopwatch running on my phone in the background here, because this is actually not doing a 232323. It's 222222. I wanted to see how fast I could make it before it glitches out. So I'm going to have to stop here and check my stopwatch. Bye. Yep, it was about 4 minutes and 53 seconds, give or take. And so maybe that's why the occasional glitches did happen, because the 22222 pattern was a little too fast for it. I don't know, but I'm just trying to make it choke. At a 111, of course, it just falls right on its face, so that's no good. But I still don't trust my main loop. I don't trust this code. I don't trust this player. I might print the whole thing out and go, check it out at breakfast and, my restaurant hangout, because it's a good place to think. I really like you're at home, you got video games and stuff, a lot of distractions. But when you're at a restaurant, you got coffee, traffic, music in your ear, and a nice flat surface to work on. Nice. Okay, it is 9:43, unless the clock on the wall needs setting. Anyway, the very last command that this does when it thinks the video is over is jump init. So it's going to go right back to the beginning. Instead of RTS to basic, it's going to go right back to where I SYS to it to begin. So I'm going to let this thing loop and loop and loop, and you're going to play with the Super CPU on until I tell you can't. So suck on that. And I got the TV angle, that's why it's all weird. So I can watch you occasionally between levels on Fall Guys. Cool. All right. It's been playing for almost a half an hour straight. Yeah. But I bet you it's not playing at 20 megahertz. Like the code that happens outside of the BackBit is, but my guess is this stuff, the stuff that's the rolled out code, is happening at 1 megahertz because it's an I/O device, and the Super CPU treats it as such. Otherwise, the only way it can run at a true 20 megahertz is if it's running from the RAM on the Super CPU itself. So that makes sense. I mean, I could probably create a test just by, incrementing stuff and seeing how fast it can do it, right, from the BackBit. But I'm pretty sure the BackBit rolled out code is executing at 1 megahertz, and it does have to, it's getting written. It copies through to this memory. It has to, because that's the only way the VIC is going to see it. So if I really wanted to test this out, to see what obstruction this thing really is, pull the damn thing out, right? I could just remove it, stick the cartridge in, and I bet you we'll still get the little bit of the green on the wolf and the occasional color glitching, because it's just that close to tripping over itself. I'm going to discover the reason why, and I don't think it's nefarious or whatever at this point. It's just a matter of luck and timing, I bet. And with a little more care, I can probably avoid it. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm still playing my video game, so I'm just going to let this thing keep going at it. It's pretty cool. I mean, I could probably turn it down. Well, let's flip the switch right now. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Ha! Okay, I survived. Yeah, now you're just going to go at 1 megahertz doing that no matter what. Okay, let's see how that changes things, if at all. Me again. As soon as I sat down, I looked at the screen and there was some color glitching going on. So yeah, I don't think it's the super CPU at this point. No, it's just the 1 megahertz thing is just, oh, you saw the switch over, is just at the cusp of screwing up. Oh, man. Cool. And it's been going for an hour and a half, no problems. So I'm going to power down and start it up again. Same deal, just in case it happened to be in a good mood and it's not screwing up, and it's about to. Well, let's see if we can trigger it. Well, over an hour later, and it's only, color glitching. Now, I really don't know if the color glitches are in fact color glitches, or perhaps it's different video matrix, which, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. I haven't been really trying. I'm playing video games, but next test, I am going to take this out, and we'll see what happens there. Because, yeah, look at this nonsense. Let's see if the Super CPU plays any part in this equation. Now, the key that I used to break out of the program actually just restarts it now because I got the loop in place. But yeah, at least the Super CPU is not at fault here. It's glitching out on its own. Well, whatever. I do have one more thing to try. This is still using locations B0 and B2 for something else. I'm going to switch that to the unused pointers 3 and 5 in 0 page, and we'll see. That I'm pretty sure that does not make a difference, but we will be sure of that. All right, so the color is now getting it from those locations in 0 page. So let's see what happens. Yep, still pooched. Okay, whatever. Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to screw up now, but I'm going back to playing my game, so I'm just going to let this loop and loop and loop. Okay. After an evening of messing with that playback and looking at all the disruption, this is Quick Test 6. It's an old program. It's looking at the bitmaps. And I got Super CPU on fast mode, but what we are looking for, or looking at, is how smooth it is, because it's using the bitmaps. Look at the grass when they stop. It's not twinkling like crazy. See how good the image is? I would certainly love, like, look at that. It's not freaking out, right? So by turning it to character sets, even though I spent months coming up with the algorithm that does it with, reasonably fast, the background's not going insanely crazy with the original bitmaps. This is basically, well, a Windows bitmap created from my video editor on the PC, dumbed down to the character set color restrictions on the Commodore 64. So a 24-bit color became 4-bit, or less than 4-bit, because so many colors aren't even allowed. But yeah, I would really love to see it look more like this at 24 frames, maybe even 15. I don't know. I guess success is where you put the finish line, right? But looking at this, comparing it to how staticky, like, how active the character set versions are, this looks so much better. And of course, it's glitching out occasionally because it's actually being read in. This isn't rollout code, so that's why it's also working at 20 megahertz. So let's slow it down. There, this is 1 megahertz as fast as it can do it, which is why, as you can see, it wouldn't work. Something to think about. So it's nearly 1:30 in the morning. I get to think about this going to bed. Great. Well, this night turned out to be a wash, didn't it? The lucky discovery was, a nice boon. I tell you, if I wasn't using the Super CPU, I probably never would have discovered it. It's kind of cool. Sometimes the best things come by accident, and this is one of them. In the next episode, well, let's see what happens after I get 3 hours of sleep. Yeah, I tell you, this problem is really taking a toll on me.